In today's segment, we're going to be talking about catching tailor in the estuary systems at night time. All you simply need is a couple of spin outfits, some 25-pound leader, some gang hooks, swivels, and a range of sinkers. We use WA pilchers for bait, and we'll catch plenty of fish and see how we do it and enjoy the segment. Thank you. You got two fish on, mate. I can look at that. I want to get both in. Come on, you can do it. Stuart can do it. You can do it. Oh, that's a good fish. That one. Fish on. Come on, mate. Show us your skills. You used to be able to do this easy, Dad. Put on one and hand on the other. Meanwhile, my two rods are just sitting here doing nothing. That's right. He's out of the way. Get him in the boat. Grab the other rod. Nice. My rod's alright. You're going to break the tip on it, but grab the other one. The other rod's still going down.
Oh, he fell off.
That's alright. You can just get the other one. Still get the other one? Yeah, good man. Nice.
Oh, he's gone.
No, he's jumping out there. I swear you're on the right side of the boat tonight. It is true. Someone says you're getting fish on that side of the boat, on the other side of the boat. I'll tell you now, it does happen. There's another reason for it. Nice effort, dude.
Right.
Shinto dress hook again.
Pardon?
Yeah, Shinto dress hook again there, mate. Nice.
You right?
Yeah, good. 40 centimetres plus.
He wouldn't have got away with this bloke. He was, well, it's really ganged up.
Hi, Doug Burt from Doug Burt's Tackle World. I am here to tell you today about tailor fishing out of the boat at night time in like a bay or like a estuary system that you may have in your local area. I'm on the Gold Coast, so we fish around the Broadwater, which is our local estuary system, and there's a few things I like to do when I'm fishing for tailor. So generally, I would start fishing for tailor when I'm fishing for nighttime for them in cooler months, so say autumn through winter. So I'd probably start normally fishing for them around May or June. June, July, August is the best time, okay? But for some reason this year, there are a lot of tailor everywhere. And I thought I'd give it a crack only this week, which is the week before Easter, so mid-March to late March. And they were out there in numbers, so I haven't seen that for quite a while. And the size is quite good as well, with the average around 45, 44 centimetres, up to about 52 centimetres, so up to about 1.5 kilos, so quite good fish. So what I do when I'm rigging up for these guys before I go out to fish on the night, because you don't want to rig up in the dark, it's a little bit hard for some people, especially my age with their eyes. And the problem is that you will get bust off when you're out there. So I do a lot of pre-rigs made up. So I have my hooks, my swivel, my leader in between, and then obviously just got to put the sinker on and thread it through. So what gear we need is a few things we need, okay? So when I was fishing the other night, I said about this. The other night, my dad was using these dressed hooks, which is this style here, like this. Just like this fella here. Okay, if you can see that. So there's 350 hooks here. They're only short shanks, so good for average and small size billies. And they've got rolling swivels in between each hook. They have this skirt on here. Now this skirt made the difference. So I was using plain gang hooks, just 340s. We're using a leader of around 25 to 30 pounds in fluorocarbon. Okay. And the sinker size depending on the current, so it depends where you are obviously, but you want your line to be on the bottom or just off the bottom, but not on the top. If you're working on the top, then that's okay. You can have it, up on the top. But the problem is the currents rip it in, and you'll get if you got no sinker on there, your line will just like spin on the current, and you don't want that because they don't like it. So it needs to be sitting there and just waffling in the current nice and steadily. So I was using anywhere between a 2-ball and a 3-ball on that night. I didn't hang around till the tide slowed down. I would drop back to probably a 1 or a 1A. That's the size 3-ball there. And if I was, going to hang out to the higher tide when the tide slows down, probably about a 1 or a 1A. So that's just on the top, but slowly getting down to the bottom. And the current's slowed down, so you won't get the spinning effect as bad. But that particular night, we really had enough. We had like 15 or something, and we decided to call it a night. That was plenty of tail for us anyhow. So my rig consists of the dress hook, and then I've got a leader of about around 35, 40 centimetres. And then I use a little size 5 crane swivel, okay, which is that sort of fellow there. These are really good brands, Optia, high class stuff. These are about 28 kilos, so they're not going to break. We use another brand called Instinct. It's also very good as well. Available at most tackle world stores. It's quite good too. It's only a size 5. And then I run another piece of my leader, which is 25, 30 pound, for around about a metre above that, or half a metre above that, just so I can grab it and lift the tailor into the boat. Because some boats are fairly high out of the water and it's hard to reach down below the swivel to grab the tailor into the boat. And you don't want to grab your braid because it'll cut your hands, okay? So you got your hook, 40 centimetres swivel, running sinker, slides on the line, and this piece of leader that's about a metre long. Now, at that point where that joins onto the line, so I've got a quick and easy little knot here, just an oil bolt which joins my leader to my braid, just right there. Very easy to do. You can look that up. We've got that on YouTube as well if you want to chase it up. Okay, then we've got our rig. So as I was saying before, the dress hooks are the difference, okay? So on that particular night, I didn't get to finish the story, but I was fishing just normal gang hooks and my dad was fishing these dressed hooks, and his ratio was about 2 to my 1. And I only had 2 lots of these in the boat, which I found in my snapper box. And I put them on Dad's rods anyhow, so he just absolutely brained. And when he ran out of those, it was about an hour after we caught quite a few, he was convinced that he'd want to put a gang hook on because he saw my results wasn't the best. And I'm not saying he's a better fisherman than me, but he just had that on there that made the difference. Okay, so anyhow, that's how it is. So when we're fishing 4 rods, as I was saying. So he fished 2, I fished 2 on my side of the boat, he's on his side of the boat. So we cast the 2 short ones, which are only about 15 metres behind the boat, straight out the back, okay? And then we sit them up in the rod holders. And then we cast the 2 side ones, and only about 15 degrees on the angle from straight back, so not much of an angle out, about probably 20 metres back, so just a little bit further back. And when they come around the current, they're going to sit behind the 2 shorter ones. So hopefully the lines don't get too tangled up. Now, when you're fishing with them, with the rods, my suggestion is not to hold the rod, okay? And I don't know if of those of you who know how to fish really well, you know that you don't hold the rod when you're bait fishing most of the time in this situation. Whiting's the same, many fish are the same, bream and everything. So when you're bait fishing, you sit the rod down, you either sit it down and run it horizontal to the boat, maybe sitting on a bucket or something, wherever it might be. Or you can, if they're on the bite pretty good and there's not too much rocking around, not too many waves or whatever, you can run them a little bit more vertical in the rod holders in the boat. But when it's a rocky type situation, don't do that because they swing around too much and rip the line, the bait everywhere off the bottom, and the fish don't like that either. So it needs to be sitting fairly just nicely sitting there. And then you watch the rod tip, and when you get a little bite, okay, you can grab the rod out and get ready to take it and hit it, the fish to take it and hit it, or you just wait for the fish to bend over and take it, and they'll hook themselves most times. But if you sit there and hold your rod, I promise you, the guy that's next to you not holding his rod, as long as he's got the same setup, will outfish you by a lot, okay? The only time you should hold your rod for fishing besides offshore is probably going to be on the beach where you're constantly winding the slack of the line up and you need to be in touch with it all the time. So we're going to I put a pilly on one of these rigs here to show you how I put the pilchard on. So I always cut the tail of the pilchard off after I put it on the hooks. So if you can see that there. Okay. 3 hooks are sticking out that side of it there. So I measure it out so the last hook goes through the eye. Then that's where I start my first hook. So I don't do that one in first, I just measure it. Okay, then I start back here on the pilchard. 1, 2, 3. Then I get the pilchard and I cut the tail off. The reason I do that is 2 things. One is it's going to let a bit of oil in the water and the fish is going to hopefully come up on it. Second thing is the tail does spin your line a little bit sometimes, especially a bit of current. So it eliminates that problem. So it just sits there nice and just waffles around in the current and they eat it. So that's the situation on how to do that. Now, the only other thing I want to tell you about besides doing that, when you're fishing and doing that, and your drag setting is really important. So if you're watching your rods and whatever, and you've got your drag set too tight, too tight at the front here, and the fish can't pull it out, it's either going to rip the rod out of the boat, or try to rip the rod out of the boat, or it could snap your braid really quick. If you've got it too loose, opposite scenario, it's too loose, it may tangle up down at this end of town. You don't want that to happen either. So you need to just understand a hook setting poundage, does that make sense? So this is going to be the right setting that's going to set the hook based upon the size of the line that you're using. So if it's too tight, it'll snap the line, as I was saying. So you just get it just right. And this is with all fishing, doesn't matter, lure fishing or whatever it is, you must set your drag correctly. And every different size line or braid has a different drag setting, okay? It's not about the rod of the reel, it's about the size of the braid or line that you're using. That tells you how much drag to put on there, how much pressure. It comes with experience and you'll get it right eventually. Okay, so we've got our lines out, we've got it set nicely, fish taps, it takes off, grab it out, hook him up. Now, fighting the tailor. Okay, the tailor have a real common thing of tailors, they jump. Okay, they jump out of the water, great fun to catch. The problem is they'll jump across the lines and maybe tangle up 2 or 3 lines. So it's up to you to try and steer them out of that situation. So what you need to do, if they're running that way, you steer your rod the opposite direction, okay? And you'll be able to pull them back the other way most times. If they can't come back around and they're jumping in towards the other lines, just try and work out where you are with the lines before they get too tangled up, and get it into the boat. When you grab it, as I said before, I got lead up above my swivel, so I grab that leader and I lift it into the boat. Next thing you need to do is to get your hooks out. Now, tailor have very sharp teeth, so be very careful because they will bite chunks out of your hands real easy. So you need to either use a pair of pliers or just get your hand into the gills and then get the hooks out. Now, once you've got the hooks out and they're in a safe place, because tailor do a lot of this sort of like flicking, and they can set a hook into you, so be careful. But your thumb in the gill, and what I do is I just put my thumb there and I break the membrane between his gills and his body, snap that. Now, when you do that, make sure you've got a cloth around you or you've got a bucket of water because they'll bleed quite all over the place. And but this is the secret to getting a really nice tailor flesh when you're going to eat it. So break the neck and then snap the neck, pull the head back, and then put it straight into an ice slurry or the bucket to bleed out, and then put it into ice slurry pretty quick, and it is beautiful flesh. So that's probably about all I can tell you about it. One last thing I want to tell you about was finding the spot. So we're looking for like ripples that are where a sandbank might be like 2 meters deep above the sandbank, and then it drops down to maybe 4 or 5 meters, or might be 3 meters down to 6. But there'll be a ripple effect on that joint of the shallow to the deep. So you want to position your boat probably about 20 meters or 15 meters up from that ripple, and fish the ripple and into that deep, because that's where they're feeding along that edge. And it's a great thing if you know where that is, but obviously in the dark, so it's a bit hard to see that. So you get out there just on dark and fish it, and position your boat correctly before it gets dark, or mark it on your GPS during the day when you're in the area and the tide's on the same situation, running tide, and just mark it and then come back there at night time and drop your anchor. My suggestion is a perfect type of tailor fishing at night time is high tide, about anywhere from about 7:30 till 10 o'clock at night, and you're fishing that run up for a couple of hours from dusk till whenever you want to come home and got enough fish, hopefully. As I was saying earlier, the best time to fish it is generally in our area around about sort of June, July, August, or May, June, July, August. They are early this year, so that's a good thing for us here in the Gold Coast. But it's generally May, June, July, August. Now, when you've got the tailor back home and you fillet them down, so they're very easy fish to fillet, they're very easy fish to skin and bone. So they're just the perfect fish. And if you want to scale them, if you do like skin, they're very easy to scale as well. So great fish. So you fillet them. I keep the scallops for crab pot bait, for sand crabs and mud crabs. They're fantastic, or spanner crabs. And the flesh, I like to do it 2 or 3 different ways. So my favourite way is actually smoking the flesh. So tailor have that oily flesh that's really, really good to use with a smoker, like this type of thing here. For those of you who have never used a smoker, they just have little burners, little metho burners. So you pour metho into the little burner and just slide it, and they'll last for about 20 minutes, and that's enough to cook the fish internally. You sprinkle some sawdust, just a handful of sawdust, over the tray on. I put one on alfoil because the fish will actually drip a lot of oil out, and if you just leave it onto the bottom of the smoker, it's quite hard to clean. So if you've got alfoil down there, just drip the alfoil, pick the alfoil up, throw it in the bin. I'll just be careful too. A lot of tackle shops sell a very similar product. This is burley. You don't want to use burley as smoker's dust. It doesn't taste very good. It's got a hole in that one. So anyhow, the end result after you finish smoking your fish is like this. Okay, this is smoked Tailor, if you can see that. It is very, very delicious. It smells really good. I want to eat it now, but I won't in front of you. And the other way I like to do it, as I was saying before, a couple of different ways. I really like to put on an alfoil in the griller, and just the flesh portion that's been skin boned and filtered, and I will put a little bit of oil, a bit of or butter on the foil, crack pepper over it, tiny bit of salt, and what I'll do is when it's sort of half cooking, I'll put some Worcestershire sauce onto it, and then just on the grill. It is really, really good. And you can deep fry it as well if you want, or shallow fry as well. Okay, that's probably better than the Tailor, guys. So if you got the chance, go out and give them a crack. They're very easy to catch. They're great fun to catch. They jump out of the water. Kids love it. And just be careful of the teeth. That's all I can say about the safety side of things. And enjoy it. And don't forget to follow us on our YouTube page and on our Instagram pages at Douglas Sackerworld. We're here to pass our knowledge on to you and to help you. Thank you. Bye.